Because I want to go see what Snuggly the Crow has for us. Ooh. But first, let's just do a little bit of social media-ing. This should be once. Come on now. And then I want Snapchat. It's that time again. My story and everyone I know. And that's it. I forgot to set up my pillows to prop myself up because I got a rickety upper body. So much fun. So let's go. That's right, I went down to the Ash Lake last time. Wouldn't say it paid off, I don't think. Alright. Hello, Stone Dragon. But like I said, instead of doing a countdown today, I'm starting a little bit early because I want to go see what Snuggly the Crow has for us. Where is it? Here we go. I have I copied down the list of things she gives us so that I wouldn't have to manipulate a web page. Manipulate and navigate a web page.
Oh, blast.
I know. Can I tell you and get a gift?
Oh, something.
Nope. Okay. I wouldn't mind another Firekeeper soul. That's the kind of thing that like Snuggly might have. Firekeeper souls, embers. Goodness gracious, I would love the large ember. I found the very large ember, so if we find it, then we'll be in some serious business. But until then, that's always a bit hairy. Shut up, Frampt. Ooh, his snoring is making me think of something. Let's see here. I love how much quicker it goes after the first time. The first time you have to just sit there for a while. Alright. We don't have far to go from here. We get dropped off in this nest, which does not look like a comfortable landing. And then we head down in here. Just to right here. Have we already aggroed any? Yes, it looks like we've aggroed all of them already. Ow, that really hurt. Okay, that one actually hurt. Get out of here. Let's see if I can get my boys back. And that should do it. Beautiful. Take a sip of that. Me?
Give me warm. Give me soft.
Really quite weird. Okay, so I feel like you can do this multiple at a time, but I'm not gonna risk it. And this is why it's tedious, is because we have to quit and reload every time.
You.
Yep. The maiden gloves. Ah, what fun. Alright, so we did sunlight metal. Next. Yeah, we'd crack red eye orb. Oh, wait. And I want to keep track. Maiden. Gloves. Cracked red eye orb.
You. Give me.
What do we got here? A soul of a great hero. Well, that's worthwhile. What's next? No. Yeah. None of those things. The blood red clump. We are gonna drop our only one. I keep doing that. Alright. Riveting stuff, am I right? What was that? That was the blood red clump.
You. Give
Yeah.
Give me.
Gimme. Turns into Soul of a Brave Warrior. I guess next we're probably going to do a regular purple clump. Oh, we can't drop it if it's equipped, so goodbye. Do I need to do Transient Curse? No. Doesn't look like it. Just the humanity and the purple clump. So, Dorp, just one. Alright, I'm only going to write down what it gives me if it's interesting. From now on. I'm going to fall off.
You.
Oh, because he takes a step back every time. That turned into a homeward bone. That's fun. You can only do each of these one time per playthrough, so it doesn't really matter what they are. I just like keeping track.
You. Give me.
A sword or shield. I mean, it's a weapon. The lightning spear. I've been wondering where that is. Alright, let's see here. No, don't do that yet. I feel like you should be able to do those coins here for this. An egg vermifuge is one of the things. Oops, wrong. Yeah, there we go. Aww. Now that's what muscle memory looks like, kids. I just accidentally quit the game, so let me go launch it. Silly me. That was a little excessive. You don't need to close the whole game. And then the launching process just takes a little bit longer than I would like for it to, because that's how these things go. That last one was the egg vermifuge. So I hope everybody's having a good day. My day's been okay. I slept like crap last night, but that's because it was time to change the... Oh, I believe that. That's miserable, Bradley. Man, I wish my phone were connected to chat so that I could see all the words that I can't see, but, you know, we can't always get what we want. I appreciate that, though, so you know that what I'm talking about is real. But yeah, so I should have replaced my CPAP nose pillows, they're called. 3 sunlight medals. Well, that's a profit. That's neat. Long ago, apparently. I try to do it every month. I think it's been 2 or 3. So that's lame. But last night it really caught up to me. So in the middle of the night, I changed it. And before I changed it, I was having trouble breathing, and I couldn't figure out why, because the pressure was good. Sometimes that's the problem. But then I changed it, and I slept really, really soundly after that. Clear dreams and everything.
No. No.
I've never heard...
No warm.
Well, okay, I didn't...
No soft.
It must be Demon Titanite. I guess that's the quote for dropping something that she doesn't want. So let's go see, actually, real quick. It could also be... Not yet, baby. It could also be a Titanite chunk. So I'll drop that, and I'll drop that. And that should be the things that... Yeah, see, it's a Titanite chunk. But anyway, that's one of the things that really, What did I just do? I just did poop. That's what it was. A dung pie. That's one of the things that really, really tells me that whether or not I'm sleeping, because if I don't dream, then I'm not getting the restorative sleep. I have 2 of those? Wow. Goodbye, Soul of Manus. I don't care how cool and rare you are. Snuggly's gonna turn you into something random. I'm sorry to hear that you didn't get much sleep either, Sir Bradley. That's no good. But Tranquil Walk of Peace. What does that do? But it's nice to get work on projects. Work done on projects, isn't it? It's foreign to the Way of Light. That's interesting. I wonder if... I think that this is what the stone warriors, the left-handed stone enemies in Darkmoon Garden use. That's neat. That's really neat. Alright. What's next? What did we just do? What's next? I think we just did the Soul of Manus. And that was Tranquil Walk of Peace. Where do you get that in vanilla? I don't think I've ever seen that before. So, I'm not going to do the Pyromancy Flame yet because I still need to draw Quilon. I don't think I've seen a Prism Stone yet in this game. Maybe somebody sells one. We'll do the pendant next. Oops. Drop 1. There it was. I almost quit the game again. Yeesh. Oh, this is armor. Traveling gloves. That was the pendant. Now it's time to do some rubbish. Just the one. Again, you guys, there we go. My goodness, I keep trying to quit again. That's no good. We're almost done with this. That's almost all of the things that I have that I can trade. The Soul of Sif. Nifty. And see, so that's the kind of thing that there's only one of those in a playthrough. And that rubbish turned into a boss soul. That's fantastic. Humanity, twin humanities, and then we're going to go into the equipments. No, just the one, actually, not 59. See that? I'm learning. I'm drinking iced coffee with a metal straw, and I just hit myself in the teeth with it. That's no good. More hard souls. That's not bad. Was that that was one humanity? All right, time for a twin humanities. Gee, I doubt you heard my phone vibrate just now. It's not like this mic is quite sensitive or anything. Old man McLoif. I love that. It's so hard to get into my head. No input. Just XX. Oh, another weapon. Because shields are in weapons. Speaking of shields. That's a good, that's got good parry frames. So that's nifty to have. I haven't found, I think I have, maybe I found the target shield. I definitely haven't found the parrying dagger. So now, let's see if I have the Ring of the Sun Princess. Might. Whoa, excuse me. Oif, moif, McGoif. Nice. I appreciate that. I don't know these things until I watch them back. This is one of the things ordinarily you can only get from... No, wait. This is one of the things ordinarily you can only get from Snuggly. Nope, I don't have the Ring of the Sun Princess. So, how about the sack? There's jokes here. Oh, it's all the way at the bottom. I know this. Drop item. Okay. I'm still on Oif Moif McGoif. I'm a big fan of that. Did anybody in my chat here know what those coins are for, or what they do, or anything?
You, give me.
Because, like, I'm really... Ooh, that's not a bad weapon. Really, like, I want them to be useful, but they're not, as far as I know. Let's see here. I just did the sack. Alright, I think the Skull Lantern is the only other thing I have on this list, because I'm not going to do the Pyromancy Flame. So, yeah, let's do it! And it's a weapon. Yeah, see, I have the very large ember and the large flame ember. I just need the large ember, and we'll be able to use get regular weapons up to a level that they'll be useful in the late game. Or just keep finding dragon scales. So this is the last one. Gotta keep our eye out for Prism Stones, Xanthus Crowns, Sunlight Maggots. Those were all by memory. Soul of a Brave Warrior. Alright, cool. Let's go. And, so as the title suggests, we're going to spend today... Can I warp from this bonfire, actually? I'm really curious. I just want to know. So, let's see. What are we keeping our eye out for? Prism Stones, Sunlight Maggot... Oh, I did the Skull Lantern. Yeah, it's only... Other than the Pyromancy Flames, it's only those three things. Ring of the Sun Princess, Xanthus Crown, Sunlight Maggot, Prism Stone. 4 things. And then Snuggly wants a Pyromancy Flame and an Ascended Pyromancy Flame. There is an Ascended Flame in the item mix, I believe. I believe there's... I believe that's true. But, I mean, we'll see. You know, there's... Can I Vorp from here? Yeah! Alright. So, as the title of our stream suggests, we're gonna clear out, we're gonna defeat Nito and clear out the Tomb of the Giants. Just wrap it up all neat, and then we'll venture into the Demon Ruins, because that's one of the more item-dense areas left to check, with the exception of all of the stuff on the invisible walkways in the crystal caves, but if I can avoid doing that, I will. Certainly not going to do it in the same session as I just did all this Snugly the Crow business. Because you're here to see me fight monsters, not fall down a pit off an invisible platform a bajillion times. Especially since I don't have any prism stones. I should check. The Crestfallen Merchant might sell prism stones. Double kill. Because don't give up, skeleton. That's one of those Dark Souls memes. It's big in 2. Because there's a lot of skeletons and funny poses around Dark Souls 2. You might wonder why I'm going down this way, and that's because I wanna. I'm still not sure what activates it, but I'm confident that I have by now activated the Gravelord Servant Covenant. I want to see what the first reward is. Because I can't quite remember. Let's not be cocky. I don't really want to tempt fate here. You throw off my groove, dude. I was gonna say I want a shield that protects me as much as that shield seems to protect you, Mr. Skeleton, but my shield's definitely better because I can block all of the damage coming from something. Like when I was fighting ONS, if Smo's hammer came down and my shield was up, I could block all of the damage. It would still throw me across the room, and it might be all of my stamina to do it, but when enemies block me, they still take some damage. So, I don't want shields to protect me like they protect them. Oif, moif, magoif. I'm still on that. Oh, okay. Usually that breaks them apart. That's nice. So, if you tuned in last stream, you'll know that we were going to get a cat. We have gotten the cat. She's lovely. We've been calling her various permutations of the name Luminara, which comes from Star Wars. Another of my great loves. Mostly Lumi, which is fun because she runs swiftly from to and fro, so Morgan calls her Zoomy Lumi a lot. And it's been fun. I don't know. I've never lived with my own cat before. I've lived with a cat before, but I've never had a cat be mine in as much as Lumi is. So that's been fun. I made a tuna sandwich for the first time since we got her today. And boy, was she interested in that. Predictably, I suppose, but still. I saw it coming, but I was still excited to see it in person. And let me tell you, she did not disappoint. She either, I don't know if she can't jump that high or just won't right now. But she didn't get all the way up on the kitchen counter, which we don't want her to do in general. But she sure was interested in what was going on up there. But then I went and I hung out with Morgan in the bedroom for a couple minutes before getting on stream, because she kind of just got home before I started this up. And in just a tender, quiet moment between, as our conversation was in a lull, I kissed her on her forehead and said, "I love you." And she looked up at me and said, "I love you, tuna, breath." And it got me good. Oh no! Oh, good. And I just had to share that with y'all because it cracked us both up. Uh-oh. Fucking god tuna breath. Yep! She always gets me good. It's one of the pillars of our relationship is that we make fun of each other, and I love it. It's honestly, I don't know if my mom is tuned in, but it reminds me of my home life. Holy trousers! We got in this before, but it didn't happen. The thing. I wondered if you were there, KimChamp17. You did. You really did. So this is like the curling up like a ball in the giant crow's nest thing, where the first time you do it, it takes forever. But then after that, it only takes a bit. Yeah, there we go, see? And this is how you access the Gravelord Servant Covenant. What do they do? They work for Nito. Which, incidentally, isn't that pretty neato? They work for Nito to, collect Eyes of Death, I think? I love that Crown of the Great Lord. That was a great choice. Alright guys, don't worry if you don't get a good look at this room right now, because this is actually where we're coming right back to. But we're gonna... There he is! I should probably get absolved of all of this sin I'm racking up. Abandoning covenants left and right. There's the gargoyle helm. Fun. Yeah, it's eyes. It's Eyes of Death. I'll look up how many later. Yeah, I'm just gonna hop back into the, no, I'm gonna do this. But I'm gonna look up, whether you can still do the Gravelord Servant Covenant. Stuff after defeating Nito, because if you can't, not the Extra Life one, I do this every time. Must still be alive for joining. Killing Gravelord Nito will not break the Covenant, but there will be no way to level up or join the Covenant again for the rest of the current playthrough. And at 10 Eyes of Death, you get the Great Lord Gravesword Dance. It's Gravelord Greatsword. So there's a reward at 10. How many do I have? I have 6. Nah, we're not gonna worry. 10's not that many though. I should keep that in mind in the future. I figured out who Tikar the Merce is, actually. He was the last person to follow me for a while. And, oh, I still have it equipped. Nice. And, so every time I stream, he's up there at the top of my list. And I was thinking about it while I wasn't playing this, which was probably where I went right. And I realized that Merce is something that male nurses call themselves from time to time. And I know someone, I went to high school with someone, whose first initial is T, and the first syllable of his last name is Car. And so I messaged him on Facebook today, like, did you by chance? And he was like, yeah, man, I've been seeing your posts. And so I figured it out, finally. I know I've talked about that several sessions in a row here, so I just wanted to let you all know that now I know who it is, and I've finally thanked him. Oh, this is always perilous. Will 2 of these do it? Yes. Alright. Not the most graceful of kills. Actually, so... There it is. Flax. Oh. And now, since I know exactly how to get to you, I just want to kill you. Hooray! I can't believe it either, man. Alright. Now, lest we forget, like, I keep thinking of more things that I want to do. Now, if this is making you anxious, just trust me. Remember, last session I sacrificed 3 humanities to the can't be bothered. I can't think of an end to that sentence because I don't want to say gods because that's a little weird. But to the higher beings of can't be bothered. This okay. I want this to be blooming clumps. Because I knew that I had plenty of humanities, you see? Oh. Crap, I don't want to... Oh, well. Well, now I'm up 1. And there is an NPC invade here, and in order for that to happen, you need to be human. So now I have those 3 humanities back. And nice. 1 extra. I only needed to use the 2 twin humanities, not that regular one. But so now I can turn human, and Paladin Leroy will invade. So let's go find him. I could also kindle that bonfire, but I've discussed how I feel about that. Lost my lock. Ah, kill it! Alright. Coming for you, Leroy. A fire truck just went by, and I don't live on a street where that kind of thing happens. Like, my parents have kind of a main road behind their house, and so if I were sitting in their living room and a fire truck went by, that's not a big deal. But only people who live in or people who want access to my apartments use this road. So, yeah, that was dumb. I kind of panicked a little bit, I guess. Oh, now I gotta rehumanify. Eh, well. Oh! Wow, this is... I'm sensing a vicious cycle here. But it's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it work. come on. Because I need that. The cast light sorcery, I'm still reeling from thinking it was a miracle and putting 3 levels into faith. A stat that I guess I'm not going to use unless I want to put 4 more levels into it and so that I can use the homeward miracle. But I have an infinite source of homeward bones, so I'm probably not going to do that. So that's just 3 wasted levels. What if I two-hand? Then will you die in 1 hit? Yes! Alright. What? Oh no! Oh no, 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 no! Oh. Dark Souls, you got me good. Okay, well, yeah, okay, alright. Nothing to do but continue onward. This is not how I was hoping this would go. I'm not gonna lie. So now we know we absolutely must kill this skeleton beast. Oh, that is a shame. I'm not happy about that. I'm not gonna lie. Not that I don't know anyone who really would be happy about losing all those humanities and souls. That was like 20,000 souls. What? What was that? Well, that's good to know too. Can you lock onto it, please? Oh dear. That's dead, so that's good. I'm almost dead, so that's not. I have my bloodstain, so that's decent, but I still... There we go. Okay. You know what really sucks about this is that we're gonna fight Nito from this bonfire. So I better wrap my brain around this walk, because we're gonna be doing it a bunch. Alright, let's see here. We're still human, so at least there's that. Leroy should invade right around here. Should being the operative word. And then does his corpse appear down there, or... There it is. From whence? There he is. He's down here, oh, for the same reason as, Petrus and his buddies. No! No healing! Oh, come on, I don't want your crap to fall off. There we go. That's good. Yay! That's 21,000 souls. Cool. And 2 transient curses. That's kind of appropriate, to be perfectly honest. And then I'm gonna have to look up where his corpse appears. It might be down that way. I can't remember. But you have to quit and reload or die. You have to reload the area in order for it to appear, as I understand. There it is. You didn't lock on. That's really annoying. Let's see here. Don't they drop like Titanite shards in vanilla? It's something weirdly basic for this late game area. That takes so long. Yeah, this is... I knew that it did this at some point. Oh. Did you drop anything over there? No. Okay. Dragon Slayer arrows. That doesn't help me in the least. Where you going? I don't like this. Was that just a despawning? Because I didn't get close enough, quite fast enough. Yeah, see? I don't know. Kicked off. Ugh. Do an attack! Just one! Please, just one attack! Now I flask. Dead. Nice. There it is. Is that one skinnier than the other ones was? It's weird. Alright. More Dragon Slayer arrow. Just one though. Whew. Okay. Well, we made it through that little bit alive. And now this. This part is crappy. There's mages firing those at us. A couple enemies in here. I mean, items. Let's see. Yeah, and they look like pinwheel. Wanted that to be a jump attack. Apparently it doesn't matter. These skeleton babies either poison or toxic you. I can't remember which. And they are infinitely spawning. So you gotta keep moving. Keep moving. Oh my gosh. Hit it! There it is. 2 lights and the pinwheel servants die. That's nice. I believe I'm safe if I'm not in the water from the skeleton babies. Nope. I'm wrong about that. Oh boy. That's an item, but let's take out the pinwheel servants first. You're not going to get to use that spell. I'd apologize if I were sorry. You guys, on the other hand, whoa, man. Coffee's working. Get out of here, skeleton babies. I don't like this. Can't remember if the skeleton babies drop anything, and that is actually their name. But they only continually spawn if you're in the water. So when I'm up here, and I figured there was one more of you. Ugh, that hurt. I would have liked to have gotten the plunging attack. Oh, I'm getting hit by them. The little guys, I mean. Alright. Item on the ground there. Don't think I don't see that. I just like not getting toxic, and it's that thing I keep saying. I just like being alive. Alright. Okay, there is another pinwheel servant up there. But I think that's what I'm seeing. No, maybe that's just the entrance. There's a whole bunch of wood structure built over the entrance to Nito's arena. So that might be what I'm seeing. That one's still alive, or persists in its unlife. I don't. Yeah. Nope. All right. But yes, all of this, all the way up to those glowing white dots up there, we have to do from the bonfire. There's no closer bonfire, unless I'm wrong about that. That's one of those things that I really wouldn't mind being wrong about in Dark Souls. Is oh, there is a closer bonfire to Nito, but I'm pretty sure there's not. Still looking for that illusory wall I never knew about. That only may or may not exist. There's the shortcut. I knew there was one. Where'd that item go? I mean, this isn't the one I was talking about because the Paladin gauntlets. That's what Leroy wears. That's static. That's always there. I thought something had dropped something and it was just chilling on the ground. But I suppose I could have been seeing the splashing from the skeleton baby's little disgusting little feet looks like an item to me out of the corner of my eye. So that could have been what I'm seeing too. Yeah, I guess that's what it was. That's a shame. So in here there should be something. The Darkmoon Seance ring. We can fight Gwendolyn now. Nice. Roll. Alright. Oh no! Alright. really a special little kind of horrible, aren't they? There's a similar enemy in Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, in the Arbiter's grounds. I guess I'll use this first, and then switch to Humanities if I need to during the fight. And they're pretty spooky too. The sounds that Stalfoi make in Twilight Princess are really unsettling. The squeaking. See, I thought that was an item. It's a skeleton baby running through the water. Alright. Well. Let's do it! Some water, though. And this fight is extra special fun because it starts with unavoidable fall damage. Hooray! This is the room we were just in, remember that? That skull is the one that's actually his head. Could you tell? Interestingly, this doesn't bother me the same way the Mass of Souls does, because this feels more like a monster made up of a bunch of skeletons, whereas the Mass of Souls, the implication is that most, if not all of them, still have some semblance of, I don't know, thought going on. Apparently that was a grab animation. My input was good enough that I didn't take any damage. Your warning that that's gonna come up through the ground is the scream. Oh, this is not good. This is not a good situation. These skeletons are, they reanimate. You can't kill them. The big ones don't. The little ones do come back. I think that's the case. Am I getting souls for killing them? Maybe not. In any event, I hope this works again. Alright. This is the skeleton war. Of this one, at least. There's a... Oh! But did you see him kill his own? So that's the strategy, is if you can bait out his attacks, he'll kill his own minions, and then you won't have to deal with them. So, we're gonna do this again. In the interest of making this happen a little bit quicker, I'm gonna I'm gonna kindle this bonfire so that I have 10 flasks instead of just 5. Just because, you know, I want to keep this moving along. This randomizer playthrough has taken longer than I expected it to. And maybe it hasn't already, but I had assumed that I would have found at least one of the Lord Souls necessary to open the final area by now. I didn't expect for this to die, stupid. Jeez. I didn't expect to still only have the Lord Vessel after having cleared out this much of the game. And so, to that end, I suppose now's as good a time as any to discuss the fact that I'm not about to say that I'm going to give up on this playthrough. I certainly am not. But I also have to be realistic about what's going to hold my attention for one thing, and what's going to be entertaining for you all. Because me wandering around, in many ways, this is just a Let's Play Dark Souls with everything shuffled. I mean, that's exactly what this is. Let me try that again. In many ways, this is not very different from a Let's Play, because what's happening right now, I beat O and S, and now I'm going to the four corners of the game to beat the Lord Soul heirs. And that's just how Dark Souls goes. If I'm lucky, Nito will drop one, but again, that's vanilla, which isn't the worst thing. I recognize that. If I'm really lucky, I'm going to beat Nito on this try. We're going to go down to the Demon Ruins and then find all 4 before we fight the Demon Fire Sage. But again, I'm not sure that that's going to happen either. I'm fairly sure that that's not going to happen, to be perfectly honest. You come back here, stupid man. I'm too close for him to hit me. That's awesome. So, this week I'm going to be streaming on Tuesday and Wednesday instead of Sunday because they have me on at the restaurant on Sunday. We haven't seen what the Pinwheel Servants drop. Lovely. Come on, get up there, get up there, get up there. What's going on? He saw me just run up that last time. I don't know what that was about. And so, if... I guess we're gonna see how this plays out. But if... I don't know, I can't decide. What I'm trying to decide between right now is whether I should commit to this and 2 more sessions of Dark Souls before doing anything else. Or if I should, I just finished my, the practice seed I was doing in the Minish Cap randomizer last night. And I did beat my time again. But it's still, it's gonna take me, if one session is 2 hours, I have to be prepared for it to take me 3 sessions to do that. That will get you if you're sprinting. Good to know. Where is it? There it is. Nice. Don't want to lose those Leroy souls. Those never come back. Alright. May not look like much, but it's plenty. Ow! It surprised me. Got a drink. Alright. Oh. I forgot to see that coming. But that's the attack we want, because now it's just him. There's time before they all... Oh! Reform. Oh, it's happening again. Deal some damage. He's doing it again. Drink. Drink right now or you're dead. Alright. Probably could have done two, to be perfectly honest. Well, maybe I'm dead anyway because I can't... The early rolls, man. This is not a fight I'm used to doing very much. Because you can see he doesn't have a ton of health. So if you can... So depending on how today and Tuesday go, on Wednesday I might play a different game. I appreciate that, Sir Bradley. It really does mean a lot. I'm part of what I'm thinking about is my excitement level as well. A Minish Cap randomizer would be good because it really would only take 3 sessions at most. My best time is 5.5 hours. And a normal session for me of this has been 2 hours. Can I fall off of here to somewhere? I don't want to risk it, to be perfectly honest. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. Because like I said, I didn't expect this to take this long. I had hoped I would be doing other things already. So, yes, it's the one for the Game Boy Advance. That, because on the Game Boy Advance they re-released A Link to the Past, which was originally for Super Nintendo, and they bundled it with Four Swords, which is a multiplayer-only mini Zelda adventure, which was neat. It was a good game. It was a cool game, but Minish Cap came out after that, probably after the aesthetic and story of Four Swords did so well, because Minish Cap is a prequel to Four Swords. Same villain. You actually, at the beginning of Four Swords, Link tries to draw the Four Sword and isn't powerful enough, and so it splits him into 4, and then those 4 Links have to cooperate in order to complete the quest. In Minish Cap, you forge the Four Sword. So it's nifty. It's fun because it's like Wind Waker. It's exactly like Wind Waker and the Oracle games had a baby, and that baby grew up and started its own business. Like it totally is its own game, but it borrows aesthetically and in terms of flavor, creatively. That's how you say that. It borrows creatively, heavily from Wind Waker and the Oracle games, which, I don't know if y'all know this, but the Oracle games were the first Zelda games that I really got to play the absolute crap out of. Did you drop anything? I still want to know what you guys dropped. No? Must be rare. Whoa, that was close. That was even closer. This is such a hectic room. Alright, this is the part where I don't die on my way to the boss, because that'd be demoralizing. And... What do we think, fam? Am I going to survive this fall without flasking? Place your bets. Yes! Alright, we've seen that. Do the humanity. I appreciate that. And I'm like I said, I'm not going to abandon this completely. I am going to finish this seed. There we go. See, you can dodge that attack. God, no! Alright. That was a pretty good retrieval. That's the kind of thing we look for. Couldn't tell you exactly how I dodged that Nito swing, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm surprised that input went through. Oh! Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I'm alive! Yep. That's a double flask moment right there. This is why I would have liked a Firekeeper's soul. It's because then I wouldn't have to flask as many times. Crap, man. I'm not even sure what damage type that is. So, like, switching up my shield to better protect myself from it. I don't know where to go. Come on, get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. I think this will be far enough away this time. Yup. There we go. Good, good. You gonna stagger anytime soon? Ugh. I have no idea where I am in this arena. This is rough. I just want the heal. Alright, okay, okay, alright. This is okay. Yeah, this is okay. I'm gonna get 2 heavies off on him right here. That's nice. Don't worry, guys. My brain can't tell everything that's going on the screen either. I'm just kind of keeping track of what's happening to me and what Nito's doing. And that's the best I got. Oh. Let me out. So yes, the big ones do reform. We have proved that conclusively. Alright, we're down inside the words. Remember, it's a benchmark for me. Come on! There it is! Oh! Right? You're dead? Yeah. Alright. A Lord Soul! That's what we're after! We got one, guys! That's what we needed! That is 1 of 4, but still! Which one was it? He had his own damn soul? Gravelord Nito administers the death of all manner of beings. The power of this soul is so great it satiates the Lord Vessel, despite the fact that much of its energy has already been offered to death. But that's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright. I'm so happy. Let's get my vitality. I'm getting endurance. I'm close to, actually, our next goal is maxing out our endurance. Only 4 more levels in that, and then we'll be done. Okay. Now, what we want to do right now is we want to go to Firelink. We need to offer this Lord Soul to the Lord Vessel so that Anastasia, the Ash Maiden, will kindle the Firelink bonfire to 20. And that'll just make the rest of the game that much easier. Finally! Nito's gonna have his own soul? You're kidding? Are you kidding? I really hope the rest of that is not the case. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight the bed of chaos if I don't have to. Oh my goodness! That just a huge weight just lifted off of me, though. Let me tell you. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm dizzy. That was wow. So how many dragon scales do I have? Whoa, whoa, whoa! I have 2. I have 3 humanities. So we're gonna go to the Daughter of Chaos, and we're gonna go clear out the Demon Ruins right now. Okay. Fantastic. On that note, fam, we're at the halfway point for by my little count, so I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Enjoy the creepy ambience. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. And now, just briefly here, I'm going to post on Facebook that I'm streaming because I think I forgot to do that. Twitch.tv/ChampTheHippie. Alright. Beautiful. Hey, this music kind of sounds like Hollow Knight. I've never given this... Actually, this is a soundtrack that I have a lot of trouble... This is a soundtrack that I have a lot of trouble paying attention to. And it's because the game takes so much focus. Well... I want to give you 30 humanities, but that takes forever. How many do I have in doubles? Oh, Kim Champ, I don't know if you're still watching, but I apologize. That's only 8. Let's do it. I have something to talk about, so I'll talk about that while I do this, because I want to open the Lost Izalith shortcut before I go down there. So we'll turn away from the Spider Lady and get our 30 humanities into our pocket while we talk about this. If you read my blog, you'll know that this week I was a little bit low-spirited, we'll say. And it's because despite all of the time and effort I put into creating on the internet, I'm not getting enough out of it currently to be able to keep going at this pace, and it kills me. I'm really sad about it. And I don't. Part of it, I think, is because I don't like to ask for money all the time. One of the things I said in that blog post was, I'm tired of every creator on the internet reminding me that they have use for my money as well. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be just another internet personality who reminds you to like, follow, and support me on Patreon every time you see my stuff. It doesn't... There's a saturation to this industry. You know what I mean? Everybody is doing it, so you don't hear it anymore. And I want my 3 humanities back now that we're all the way here. And so I do make a point to try to avoid singing that tune all the time, but one of the main reasons... Oh, I gotta join the Covenant. One of the main reasons that I am starting to stream is in an effort to drum up traffic to... Oh, Grant, that's Leroy's. Yeah, his mall, that giant club, is called Grant, and his shield is called Sanctus. And Sanctus constantly heals you, and Grant probably deals special damage. I really think it does, because my shield wasn't absorbing all of the damage. But anyway, I try not to be just another personality on the internet begging you for money all the time. And I don't know what conjunction goes there. Part of the point of me starting to stream was in an effort to drive traffic to my site. Which is, of course, littleblueumbrellas.com. That's what my passion is. That's what I want to do with my life, is write high fantasy and create a world that is comparable to Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or the MCU. That's the other really good comparison that I make, because what I want to be able to do is, or what I want to have done really, is to have generated this place, this fictional place, where new stories can be told no matter how long it's been, or whether I'm telling them at all. I want to create something that will outlast me. And what I'm doing at littleblueumbrellas.com and areastadventures.wordpress.com, which I know is catchy, is the groundwork for that. It's just that, you know, I'm human. I have a human life, and that's... I don't live with my parents. I have rent, and I have cars in the shop, and so I'm turning over a new leaf, I guess, and trying to find better ways to drive traffic to my Patreon and better rewards. We're halfway there, by the way. 15 more, and we'll be back into the game. Better Patreon rewards for supporting my fiction and my streaming, which I think I'm going to keep separate. I think I'm going to have buymeacoffee.com have streaming related rewards, and Patreon have fiction related rewards. Yeah, well, and that's exactly the problem, is that my day job takes time and energy as well. And it's really hard to do both in a day, if impossible. And so that's what I'm running into, is how do I find the time to... And then even doing this, streaming for 2 hours, playing a stressful game on stream for 2 hours is exhausting in and of itself. And so, like, I haven't done anything for my fiction today, other than all of this plugging, I suppose. And so, I don't have the time to do everything that I want to do, and everything that I need to do. And so, what's going to have to start happening is that the things that aren't making me money are going to have to start losing so that I can keep eating and get my car back from the mechanic and stay in these apartments and so on and so forth. And obviously, Kim Champ and Sir Bredley, I know that you both support me on Patreon already, and thank you! You guys are amazing. You're keeping me afloat. And so this message is less for you. But I don't know. I have to find ways to say it that nobody's heard before, I think is the solution. And you know, since I posted that article on Friday about how things aren't great, that article got better promoted by my friends than most of the stuff that came before it. Wow, that's kind of correct too, isn't it? But anyway, we should leave this topic behind, I think, for now, as we leave this place behind. My earphone died. So, we're gonna... I don't know what we're gonna do. You can still hear it, so I guess I shouldn't worry. But I'm not used to playing Dark Souls without sound. So if this is too uncomfortable for me, then I'm going to have to quit and reload. Like, I'm going to have to relaunch Dark Souls so that it starts playing out of my speakers and hope that the ambient noise doesn't echo too badly in your ears. Sorry, I'm reading your message, Sir Bradley. Yes. Well, so that's... And as I do it, I do get better. One of the things that I have gotten better at, even just within this last week, has been writing down topics to talk about on stream, like the cat and tuna breath, and this. I had been planning on talking about this, and one of the other things that's going to get easier... I got my orange socks on now. One of the other things that's going to get easier is promoting my writing. Because I don't know how to do it right now. One of my big personal issues has always been balancing thinking about myself and thinking about others. I know how to do both of those things. I just have trouble deciding or trouble telling the difference between which one to be doing right now. You know what I mean? And so generally I err on the side of not... Self-advocating isn't what I mean. Generally I err on the side of not worrying about myself as much as I worry about others. And, you know, I'm happy with that. But after, 26 years, it turns into this thing where I feel weird about telling people to go read my stuff. It feels selfish. White dragon breath. That's cool. Don't think I don't see that Capra demon coming. That's the thing that I'm scared of without sound, though, is because there's Taurus demons over there too, and I won't know if they're clumping up behind me. But so far, so good. You gonna drop something? Eventually, but not right now. So, promoting my writing, self-promotion is one of those things that I'm not sure how to do even though I've been an independent blog for, what, 4 years now? And that's probably part of why I'm still kind of in the slog. Oh, you don't have sound either? Well, that's not good at all. In that case, I'm going to fix it. Thank you. Hopefully fix it. Let's see here. Alright, there's my output device, so... Come on now. Thank you for telling me. Game is launching now. I believe in you, Dark Souls. We do this every time. We wonder. We struggle. We hiccup. And we come back. Alright, there we go. Now I'm seeing... I should have been able to tell because the, on my Twitch, interface, the software that outputs to the stream, I have audio level bars, and they weren't doing anything. And since I'm curious, let me know if you're getting any echo. Ooh. What? Did I just quit it again? What's going on? Now we gotta relaunch. Sorry. So we can still hear it, so that's good. Oh, man. So one of the other things I had written down to talk about, the other reason that I didn't sleep too well last night, is that our heater went kaput yesterday. And... there we go. Okay. And we obviously didn't know why. Or that it had. There we go. Alright. Okay, I don't think you're echoing either, based on what I can see. And so, I didn't know how cold it was going to get last night. Because, I mean, we're not in New England. We're at the northernmost part of the South, if even we are in the South at all. But it's still winter. There's that animation. I like that one. And it's actually pretty chilly for here. We're in the low 20s. Oh, that's true. I mean, by my count, Sir Bradley, you're half my current viewers, so that's a pretty good a good majority. These guys don't respawn, so we're just gonna clear them out, and then we'll be able to explore freely. What was I saying? Oh, the heater died. So I didn't know how cold it was going to get in here last night. We're on the ground floor, and by ground floor I mean my floor is below ground level. My ceiling is above ground level. We're that apartment. That's why I'm wearing that orange charred ring. Oh, that was more tracking than I expected. Bad. Very bad. Well, there go all my bones. What was I saying? Yeah, taunting me with the rusted iron ring, huh? So it's been cold in here all day. The office is closed on Sundays, but no heat in the winter counts as a maintenance emergency. So we were able to get him out, and he just came in. He walked in with a lighter and like a screwdriver, I think, and went into the HVAC closet and was clanking around. And then the heat turned back on. We keep it set to 75 because of the way that heat distributes or doesn't through our apartment. And the thermostat at its lowest read 59, which is too cold. But when he was here, it read 62. And so then the heat ran all the way up to 75 from there. And it got caught up and everything's fine. And so for the first time since I got home from work last night, I was too warm in the house just now. So I took my nice big socks off. Oh, jeez. Why can't I find the timings on this? I'm all rattled now from ranting and having to relaunch, my earphone dying and stuff. I don't know. I'm still happy though. We got our first Lord Soul. Did I sacrifice? Oh no, I must have, because you have to sit at the Lord Vessel to. I don't know. Maybe I have to talk to her. We'll find out later. Right now, I gotta kill these Taurus demons. I gotta. You broke all my bones for the last time. One of the things I love about Dark Souls is the fact that it really does, like, and this is probably why Blighttown is frame rate hell, but as opposed to actual hell where we are now, I love being able to see my bloodstain that far away, and I'm just gonna run there. I'm just gonna contiguously walk there, and we're gonna get to it. It'll be great. Are we still, even when their giant axes come down, we're not getting any echo or anything? I'll know when I watch the stream back, so I don't have to ask, but, like, I don't know. Audience engagement is part of this job, and so I'm practicing. We'll go with that. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. Jeez. There it is. It's gonna happen this time. I know it. I still can't believe Nito had his own soul. It's so frustrating. In my first ever seed, I've talked about this before. In my first ever seed, I fought Gwendolyn, like, literally last. I had done everything else in the game. Yeah, that's the one with a ridiculous amount of tracking. Literally last. And because I don't like turning in Orlando dark, the Sentinels are really great to grind on. In this one, the Batwing demons drop dragon scales, so that's gonna matter too, because I'm using this obsidian greatsword. And they all go away if you turn out the lights. Just a couple of the blades of the Darkmoon, which don't respawn, become the only enemies in Orlando from there. But Gwendolyn had the last Lord Soul that I was looking for, so I fought Manus all the way at the far end of the DLC. I killed all the lords that drop them in vanilla. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So since we have the Darkmoon Seance ring now, we are gonna check that. If I don't find another dragon scale, we're gonna grind it up. And maybe I'll do that off screen just because I've already done enough tedium in this session today. Between Snuggly and the Chaos Servant shortcut. I wish the lava hurt them. That hurt. Could still go for another Firekeeper soul. One that I don't have to give to someone. I'm gonna learn to dodge that. I promise you I am. And remember that these things don't respawn, so we are making progress. One of the Patreon reward tiers that I'm gonna enact next week. I think I'm gonna post them this week. Warn everybody that the tiers are all changing for real this week, and then delete the old tiers that like still have travel writing stuff in them. Delete them next week. But one of the tiers is because I hate coming up with names. I hate it so much, and so if you're over a certain amount per month, then you get to either I'll name a character in something I'm writing after you, or you get to come up with a name for them. And it's not going to be like super main character types. When I was spitballing these ideas at work yesterday, one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, careful of giving creative control away from your stuff." And she's right, obviously. I want to be in charge of my own things. But, like, my last streaming session, the title was Checklist Commence, which isn't very exciting. I wasn't very happy with it, but I hate coming up with names. And, what made me think of that just now, actually, was the fact that I really like the name for this stream. Boy, I'm glad I fought Nito. And that's fast. Hey! Good to hear from you, Carpan17. I know it's Carepan. I bet you are. There's a lot here. How is it that my counter says 2 viewers when I'm pretty sure I have KimChamp, Carepan, and Sir Bradley all in here at the same time? This is why I don't trust the Twitch view counter. I don't get it. Where are they? That's the Capra Demons, so that means they're this way. See? That's what I thought. I don't understand. Maybe it's because, I guess this is, I don't know, spoiler? I don't think it is either, but the problem is that it's what counts. I need, 2 other people. What? So this is what I'm saying. But for whatever reason, for my average viewers, when it gives me my stream summary, I think it goes off of the view count that I can see. So I don't understand how all that works, but whatever. We just keep. It's like Dark Souls. I don't get it, but we just keep trucking along. Ow! I'm on fire. I don't want to fight another one of these. So why don't you come out here? There we go. See, I can dodge sometimes. By the time I got here in my first ever playthrough, I was using a Black Knight weapon. And I don't know if I knew this going into this area or not. I read the wiki a fair amount on my first time through. I didn't like troll the wiki for information. But whenever I had a specific question about what was going on in my game, I would ask the wiki, and then sometimes I would get, oh, so interesting. So like which is better, the Gargoyle's Halberd or the Black Knight Halberd, is a specific question I can ask the wiki. And then when I look that up, I learn that Black Knight weapons deal bonus damage to demons. Neat, right? So I might have known that coming into the Demon Ruins with the Black Knight Halberd on my first time through. We only got one more, guys. Oh, we did it! And I might not have, but I definitely was using a Black Knight weapon at this point in this game, my first time through. That was a stagger! Boy, I wish I'd known that 7 Taurus demons ago. Whatever. Items. This always happens to me. Like, the spot where Patches kicks you down to the Tomb of the Giants, and here, specifically, I remember there being more items than there are. There's like 3 in this lava field. I already got one of them. The Chloranthy Ring! I've been looking for that. Nice! Yeah, there's 3. So, the one I just got, the one over there that's on the hardened lava, and then this one that I'm about to get, where we have to go through the lava, but then it's on land. And these are mean in vanilla, because the ring I'm wearing that's protecting me from the lava comes after... Oh, come on now. Alright, the ring I'm wearing that's protecting me from the lava, you get after this area. What? There's the Guardian Tail. I was talking about that last session. It's the Chimera type monster where it's like a lion body and eagle wings and a scorpion tail. If you cut off its tail, you get that whip that I just picked up. And it deals poison damage, which is fun. Which makes sense. You hit somebody with a scorpion tail, it stings them. Although, that's venom, not poison. The difference being similar to the difference between horns and antlers. Does anybody know the difference between either of those pairs of things? Not the difference between those 2 pairs of things. Horns and antlers and poison and venom are very, very different things. But, like what makes one thing a horn or the other thing an antler? Or what makes one thing a poison and the other a venom? I'll tell you eventually, but I want somebody to interact with me. Please. Like I said, audience engagement, big part of this job. Welcome to the Demon Ruins, everybody. We're actually in here now. We're going to go down into there, fight the Demon Fire Sage. The shortcut is just inside there as well. Woo. No items on the way in, so instead of fighting all of these Capra demons, horns do not branch apart, and venom comes in an animal where a poison does not. Ah, but what about poison dart frogs? And I think you're right. Here, there's the Cat Covenant ring. Now I could potentially unlock Shiva. So poison dart frogs are animals that produce poison. Man, these things are miserable. I don't like fighting them. I'm trying to think. I think you're right, but that's not what I was thinking. I love that. So what I was thinking was that horns. Let me start again. What I was thinking is that antlers are shed on an annual basis or on a regular basis, whereas horns are never shed. That's the big difference that I'm aware of, but I don't know if I can think. Although, are there like mountain goats with horns that branch? Digigloves. I don't think so. I think you're right. That's not what I was looking for. But then the difference between venom and poison is that poison is harmful when you ingest it, and venom is harmful when you inject it. If you swallow venom, you're okay. Oh, man, that was lame. That was just lame. But that's why I took the shortcut. Drop down like that. Because poison dart frogs secrete... I think they are both toxins, because toxin, I think, is like... I'm trying to think of another term. Toxin is a non-specific term. I think that a toxin is any material that's harmful to a body's, you know, function. 'Cause, like, alcohol is a toxin for sure. We call it poison because it's harmful to ingest. That was nice. They dropped Murakumo. Is that plural as well? Great. Good job. You can... I'm pretty sure you can parry these guys. I don't think you can riposte them, but you can parry their one-handed swing. So, I'm going to go with poisons and venoms both represent examples of toxins. Oh, the follow-up attack. Got me good. Oh. I am not where I thought I was. Boom. Okay. Now, I'm up here for a reason. I'm pretty sure there's an item, like, over here. Yeah, that's exactly... I'm gonna remember that. I've never heard that before, Sir Bradley, but I'm gonna remember that because... that's brilliant. If you bite it and you die, it's poison. If it bites you and you die, it's venom. Nice. So... Right, bee stings hurt because of the venom that the stinger injects. But mushrooms kill you because they're poisonous. Fun! Alright. These things are annoying. Luckily, they have almost no poise. So... They're easy to take down if you hit them before they start breathing their fire. Now I cross the threshold and that thing runs at me. This should stagger it, right? Oh, nope. Eesh. Don't roll. Alright. Dead. And these ones do respawn. So, because now they're just regular enemies. And... I can never remember if this thing drops anything. Yeah, that attack went on for longer than I expected it to. Okay. Burp at me again. Yeah, beautiful. That's a frightening attack. I don't like this at all. Yeah, and if you really don't like these things, then there's something coming up that you're not gonna like. Oh! There it is. Alright. Does it... No, it's just annoying. Got it. We don't need to walk in lava anymore. So let's... We haven't seen... We've seen what the cappers drop, but not the Tauruses. Tauri. Towdy! That sounds like a people native to the islands of New Zealand. Maori. Is it just this one Capra? Because it sure... No, I knew it. I knew there was something gonna come after me. Ooh, glad I was ready for that. Anybody else? Alright. Nice. Dragon weapons. Another rare ring of sacrifice. That's nifty. Do regular rings of sacrifice let you keep... Excuse me. Lose nothing upon death. Okay. Lose nothing upon death and nullify curse. Alright. I thought you needed a rare ring to keep your humanities. Not going to go in there yet. We're going to try going this way. I usually die a couple times going down this direction. Well, that's not usually how I die, but it's one way. Ordinarily, if you get that plunge attack on that Taurus, it plays the animation like the Taurus Demon boss fight at the beginning. You stick to its head, and it goes... but not that time, apparently. Dooby-dooby-doo, be-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-doo. So like I said, it's winter. And I've said this before, I really like winter. I like the cold, I like the nighttime. I mentioned that in my blog post from this week, actually. And it's really been a winter this year. We've had a couple good storms. There's snow on the ground right now, which didn't happen last year. We just didn't get snow last year. It was horrible. Die. Thank you. And as I'm sure many of you know, we got a nice winter storm last week. It was not the most convenient of days for me, because did I just get 2 humanities on my way here? I don't know. Yeesh. Because I was the opener at the restaurant, which usually I'm not on a Thursday. I thought you'd keep going. You sure didn't. I want to fight you not right here, really. Whoa. And so I was really hoping my owner would text me and be like, you know what, we'll open an hour late, you're good. But he didn't. So I had to drive through the heaviest snow of the day to get to work on time. And Delaware is, as I mentioned, almost in the south. And so we do go years, plural. Oh, that stagger. That's what I live for. That's why I play Dark Souls. I know I'm scarier than it. I only have to be scarier than it, and then it shows. Oh, that was... I'm a little fired up now. That's good. Whew. And as I've also mentioned, our car is in the shop. So one of our cars is in the shop. So my parents very graciously let me borrow one of their cars, and lucky for me, it was the manual shift, which the first car I really drove a lot was stick shift, and so it's like my first love of driving. Aw. I had use for that before I beat. Oh well. Come on, I know you're here. Or is this the part that I run through? I think it is. Go! Oh, okay. So, what's this? Titanite catch pole and the anklet of the Great Lord. Fun. If I need magic damage, I know where to come. Hey, Cape Pan. Nice. The whole family's here. Good to see you guys. I really appreciate it. Now I really don't trust my view count, because, like... I wonder if it's because 3 of you... They're all going to drop Eyes of Death, huh? That's frustrating. I wonder if it's because 3 of you are in the same house. So it's not counting accounts, it's just counting IP addresses. Oh well. How many flasks do I have left? I only have 2 flasks left. Nah, that's enough. So, growing up, I know my mom always preferred driving the manual to... Wouldn't it just defeat the purpose of all of you tuning? Oh boy. That hurt. Oh, so much damage. Oh boy. Growing up, my mom always told me that she preferred driving the stick shift in the snow, and like, I believed her, but we never got a good enough snow while we had the stick shift car, which we don't anymore because I wrecked it. Okay. Thank you, Sir Bradley. That makes some sense. That accounts for some of the things that I'm seeing, but I mean, if all 4 of you that are talking to me have been here for most of the time, but it's been showing 2 for most of the time, then I still don't really understand what's going on. But that's understanding all of the behind-the-scenes stuff for Twitch isn't really part of what I need to be doing this. So, like I said, we just soldier on. So we beat on, boats against the current. Borne back ceaselessly. By the past is the actual line. I was trying to think of something funny to say, but I couldn't think of anything funny and relatively appropriate. But so this snowstorm this past Thursday was the first time that I got to drive a stick shift in the snow, and now I totally get it. Was that what I was after? Yeah, that was what I was looking for. Huh. And it is nice. If you drive an automatic, you're supposed to keep it in low gear in the snow, and now, like, I have an idea of what that's supposed to do now that I've driven a stick shift and paid a lot more attention to what's going on with the vehicle. Because I feel so disconnected from the wheels when I drive automatic. I don't like it because I feel like I'm communicating with something... Oh, I missed. That's communicating with the car for me. I don't feel like I'm communicating directly with the car, and I don't like that. I like for the vehicle to feel like a machine that I'm operating. Not for me to sit in this seat and then for me to interface with a computer that controls the machine. That doesn't feel right to me. So what we got down here is they're chaos bugs. And there's one in particular that is very important. There we go. They drop throwing knives. We're gonna see plenty of those. Yeah, okay. Those all kind of looked like the rusted iron ring, so I wanted to double check. Open sesame! The one with the glowing eyes is the one that doesn't respawn and has a unique drop. So I think it's this one. There it is. The giant gauntlets. Hooray! And a large soul of the proud knight or whatever. And that's Lost Isleth. Oh! Ah! Well, I'll have to come back for it. So that's Lost Isleth in here. See? You can see some dragon butts. That little pagoda tower thing is where there's a bonfire, but we gotta fight past this. The only... I don't know if you can make it out. The only respawning Titanite demon in the game is in this little corridor. And its back is to us right now. We're not going to go this way just yet. I want to fight the Demon Fire Sage. I'm pretty sure that opens up some items. I just wanted to... I like to have this open. And incidentally, that means that Solaire isn't going to die to the Chaos Bugs. Which is always a plus. Let's see. There's a couple hills that I had to drive up that snowy morning. Ordinarily, I take a back road to work, and I super didn't want to do that because it's windy and hilly, and I like I say, I like being alive. Excuse me. But so I took the main roads, and one of the main roads has a speed limit of 50, and I mean, it's not a straight road forever, we're not in the Midwest, but at the point when it becomes a long hill, there's a long straightaway leading up to the hill, and then most of the hill is straight. So I came into the bottom of that hill going about 50 miles an hour because I'm in a light rear wheel drive car, and I wanted to make it up the hill and get to work. And ahead of me is like I don't know, like a plumber service van, something like that. That's, you know, clearly full of supplies in the background. It's a little bit bigger than my car in general, and it's going like 35 miles an hour. And so before we're halfway up the hill, yeah, I understand. K-Pan, this is a gamer's game, and so it can be a little bit disorienting to outside eyes. But we're gonna go fight another boss, and should be easier to follow. Come on now. Oh, yeesh. And so I come into the bottom of this hill going the speed limit, and there's a car ahead of me tottering up 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. And so before we're halfway up the hill, I have had to lose almost all of my momentum, and now I'm worried I'm not going to make it up the hill. And we get about 2/3 of the way up. They see the top, and they're like, oh, all right. So they relax and accelerate. And I'm left going, 30 miles an hour now, still wondering if I'm going to make it up this hill. It really frustrated me. But I made it up. Everything was fine. And then there's another hill just before where I work that I have to turn left at a stop sign at the base of this hill. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Oh, it's because it goes through this! That's frustrating. Oh well. And so I'm driving up this hill, and there's nobody Actually, there was somebody in front of me. So, but it's a one lane. There's no turn lane. It's just one lane at the stop line for the light. But it turns when you turn left. It's a 2-lane road. So I turn just like I normally would into the left lane and just drive up. And this hill is actually bad. Because I don't have any momentum going into it. So I start tottering up the hill. And I'm actually tottering. Like, I couldn't have gone faster if I wanted to. And so I was in second gear for most of the hill. And without very much traction or anything. I made it up fine, made it to work fine. But by the time I got to the top of the hill, because I had the heat on, it was toasty in that little car. Let me tell you. Speaking of toasty. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can pull this off. I'm gonna count it. Alright. Don't worry. Don't worry, we're alive. Yes, that's the attack I would have wanted. What's up, Mr. Stabanzo? Good to see you again. Still haven't found the Dark Wood Grain Ring, but we did find a Lord's Soul. Gravelord Nito had the Lord's Soul that Gravelord Nito drops. So, we have taken a step forward. We now have 40% of the items necessary to enter the endgame area, and life is good. How are you doing, Mr. Sabanzo? Apparently we're doing a heavy attack. That wasn't really what I meant to do, but, you know, I'll take it. This is my favorite attack that these demon bosses do, because I can always get a jump attack on it. Sometimes, oh, fire AoE. Ow. Oh, sometimes, I'm even able to bait out that butt slam attack twice in a row. That's my favorite. Sometimes it's more than twice in a row. Ready? Butt slam. Here we go. Yep. Nope. All right. They always do that same little lean forward to prep to jump. You just don't know what direction they're going to jump in. I'm absolutely shocked that that attack hasn't hit me yet. Man, this morning, somebody was coughing up a lung in the apartment above me. Like, I was a little worried. Good stuff. What you playing? What are you gonna do next? Oh, that's not... Oh, that's okay. Barely. How about a butt slam? Nope. That's such a big AoE! For the non-gamers in the audience, AoE is area of effect. There's the butt slam. Hiya! Butt slam again. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Dead! Very cool. I don't know that I've heard of Heroes of Hammerwatch before, but after this, I think I'll look into it. I love me a good roguelike. Fairly, and when I say this, don't think that I'm knocking it. Fairly standard RPG elements. Am I imagining the right kind of a thing? What did you drop? The Katarina helm. So this is where I'm pretty sure this is where the items are that are why I did this fight even after I opened up the shortcut. Also, because having the shortcut is nice. Oh, this is just the entrance to Lost Izalith. Cool. I might want to go in the front way. I took the shortcut last time, and I don't really know my way around Lost Izalith real well. So this time I think I might. To that end, I'm not going to go down there yet, because we're running out of time. And I apologize, Mr. Stabanzo. Even though you just tuned in, I'm not going to be on for much longer. I've been seeing a lot of Valheim, Sir Bradley. Can you tell me anything about it? live under a rock, so I'm not really aware of what's going on in gaming. I'm gonna start playing Hades soon. If I don't find another, actually, I have to make sure it'll run on my laptop first. So I might do a patrons only stream type thing where we see if my laptop can run it, and I do my first run of it, and then I'll open the rest of it up to the public. Once I have found my feet. These guys don't attack you unless you attack them. Yeah! Armor of Artorias. Well, I really appreciate it, Mr. Stabonzo. I need all the attention I can get. Also, I'm trying to get affiliate on Twitch, and so that having the viewers helps too. Aha! It was a knee slap. Let's see here. Is there not an item hanging off of the edge here? That's so weird. But the other thing that we just got is ooh, pardon me. This elevator takes us all the way up back to Quelog's domain. This one. I want this one. Alright. So one more thing I want to do before... Oh, wow. One more thing I want to do before we get off is I need to know where Leroy's corpse is. So help me out, Internet. Paladin Leroy. Not the Fextra Life one. See, I'm learning. Didn't click it that time. Wikidot. I hate how it's always the third one down. That really frustrates me. He does not invade until the Lord Vessel is placed. His corpse can be found in an alcove in the Gravelord Nito boss room. Of course. Well, we'll go down there at 20 flasks. It'll be fine. And it would have been down there, too. You know, I thought about looking around in there, but I didn't. Oh, I gotta talk to her, I think.
That you have, I thank you. Finally, the curse of the undead will be lifted. I'm
cool. So it's actually kind of centered around the base building aspect then, where because I know in some games they have a base building aspect and it's like, oh, there we go. Look at that. It's like vestigial almost. But it sounds like it's a core mechanic in this, and that's pretty cool. Sounds like fun. Did you say you've been playing it with friends, Sir Bradley? Hey, Patches! I forgot you'd be up here.
Oh, we meet again. How many of you are there?
A terrifying
I'm done
number.
with the looting. I'm a humble merchant now.
Of course.
Wondrous treasures have I, at a special price for you. There you are. I'll rely.
No more funny business out of me, friend. Core of an Iron Golem. A bunch of nice hard souls that'll turn into more souls than they're being sold for. Zweihander. I know that's a really good weapon. Whoops. Cool. Those are all really cheap. Neat. So nothing earth-shaking. Yeah, only 2 Twinkling Titanite. Nothing earth-shaking.
What?
Still cool.
Nothing? Oh,
I must have poor taste. You're right. I always forget that that's where he goes. I don't, cause... Oh, that's neat. That's impressive, actually. I don't know how I got off the path there. That was weird. Alright. Whoa, that was a loud one. Down, down, down we go. I hope nestling in the coffin still does it. Otherwise, I just wasted a bunch of time. But yeah, driving stick shift is fun. I wish we had a car that was stick shift, but we're still at the point in our lives where we take what we can get. Do the best you can with what you have. Dum-de-dum. Should probably be killing some of these skeletons, but, you know. Ah, that's good. Oh, no! Although bleeding would be really bad here, because it doesn't matter how much armor you're wearing. If they get you to bleed, you're in trouble. Nah. I'll do this the safer way. Stop it. Alright. As if we haven't done this enough times already, this file. Oh. And we're here. That's it's amazing how quickly that goes when the way is all opened up, isn't it? And we'll get to see this going quicker than it did the last time. Also, no Titanite Demon. There's the last of my coffee. Which I probably could have finished half an hour ago. But whatever. Can we go, please? So I guess I'll take this time now to talk about what I'm planning for the next couple of weeks for my blog and my fiction. I post in the post or in the article I posted, I'll say it that way, on Friday, I said that there's not going to be any new fiction this week, and I mean it, because I need to focus on what I was talking about earlier, those things that are going to actually facilitate me getting more support. That is cleaning up my Patreon, actually enhancing my Buy Me a Coffee. I did have a bit of inspiration in terms of reworking the beginning of my book, which is just a thing that needs to happen. Here we go. The Mask of Velka. The beginning of my book doesn't do things that the beginning of a book should, and that's partially or mostly because I don't have the ending written, and so I need to develop a lot of the trappings of the setting. I need to build the world, so to speak, in order to infuse the beginning with the elements that the beginning of a book should have. In the first 20 pages, readers should have a solid, even if they don't realize that they have it, they should have a solid idea of how the book is going to feel, and should have witnessed some of the key elements. In the beginning of the Stormlight Archive, it's notoriously kind of a difficult climb. The first 100 pages of The Way of Kings is a very disorienting experience, because it has a prelude to the series, and then it skips forward 4,000 years, and then it has a scene where a king gets assassinated from the perspective of the assassin, and then it skips forward 5 years, and then it has a scene on a battlefield where it's introducing one of the main characters from the perspective of a kid in his squad who's, small, tiny spoiler alert, probably dies at the end of that chapter, because then the next chapter is from the perspective of that squad leader that was introduced from there 6 months after that, and then after that chapter it flashes to the other main point of view character for the book, who is geographically nowhere near the first guy, and then after that chapter it jumps back to the first guy again, and then you have your footing, and that's about 80 pages in. Is the first time that you start a chapter from the perspective of a character that has already had a chapter from their perspective. But in spite of that, you meet, you get a really, really, really good idea of the main types of magic. The assassin can fly and change the way that gravity works for himself. Those are the same power used in different ways. And so, because it's from his perspective, you get a really solid understanding of that. Another one of the major aspects of the magic is they're beings. They're not like animals, because they are not traditionally corporeal, we'll say, but they're drawn to human emotions or forces of nature, and they're called spren. And spren are one of the main things that make the world of the Stormlight Archive unique, and as you get further and further into the plot, you learn that they are important in ways you didn't see coming as a reader. And so all of these things. Oh, and then so it's called the Stormlight Archive because on Roshar, the continent that the series takes place, devastating storms that are called high storms rage across the land, always in the same direction. Quasi-regularly, people are kind of good at predicting them, but it's, there's going to be a high storm within these 3 days. We think it's going to be the middle day, and it's probably going to be toward the second half, toward the evening of this day. But so just be ready for a high storm on in this span of days, and you'll be fine. And the currency of the world glows with magical energy that is recharged by the high storms. This is the Stormlight. And so you see money changing hands within those chapters, like maybe some of the soldiers in Kaladin's squad have a bet, and so some spheres change hands, and a couple of them are done, which means out of Stormlight, and so you see that. And so the first 100 pages of the Stormlight Archive all do that job of setting up all of these necessary things to understand in order to go the places that he's going to go. And Sir Bradley, you're absolutely right. It is heavy lifting, and when I read The Way of Kings, I was traveling with it. I was in Africa, and it was the only book I brought on that trip, which is fine because it's 1,300 pages long. And I didn't finish until we were back in the States, but there's two things. If it weren't for Silfrena and the fact that I was stuck with the book, I would have had a very, very, very hard time getting into Way of Kings. But once you get over that hump of all of this stuff being so new, and all of these different perspectives and things. Once you get through that, the book flies by. It's long, yes, but it reads like a much shorter book. And so I highly recommend it if that's not blatantly obvious. But to bring this back to what I'm actually saying, the beginning of my high fantasy novel doesn't do all of that heavy lifting that Sir Bedley is talking about. Because I don't know what it's holding up. Or maybe not, I don't know. I haven't designed what it's holding up. Cognitively I know. But practically I'm not deep enough in yet. So one of the things I've been doing to solve that is writing short stories that take place in the world. Like I said, a Star Wars or MCU style interconnected universe is what I'm after. And so to that end, it's going very well. But I had something clicked for me this past week for how to rework the prologue of To Save What's Lost, my novel in the world of Ariest, in order to make it more engaging and start to do some of that setup work. And so, even though there's no fiction coming this week, I think I might look at it this week and start to do some of that redesign work, so that next week I can publish that and start to update everything on the Ariest Adventures website specifically, and get more of To Save What's Lost on there, because I have almost 15 2,000 word chapters written of it. And the beginning is a little bit slow. It's some of my writer friends have called it Tolkienian, and that's not exactly a compliment. Iterate to Victor, you just described writing. That is what writing is. Writing is rewriting, which is so unfortunate because the composition is so much fun. But that's, like I keep saying, we got to keep moving forward. And that's iteration is how you move forward with a writing project. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. I wish I could focus enough to talk about all that while I'm playing, but that's what practice is for, right? So like me on Facebook. Please follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. These are the ways that I'm going to be able to do more of this. And yeah, watch Facebook for what's going on, and I'll be sure to highlight any changes I make to my Patreon, and once I get my Buy Me a Coffee, actually, it's kind of a ghost town right now. There's really nothing on it except you can give me money and it'll go to me. So I gotta develop some reward tiers and things for that, but that's all gonna be this week. And then Thursday or Friday there will be a blog post on littleblueumbrellas.com detailing what I did this week, how I'm feeling, and what's gonna happen next week. So thank you all so much for tuning in. These links that I'm talking about are on my profile. I'll be back on Tuesday with more Dark Souls. Since we found a Lord Soul today, I'm feeling better about continuing. I haven't found the purple socks yet, so we can't fight the 4 kings yet. Like I said, I don't really want to do the Bed of Chaos if I don't have to. That's a kind of a tedious fight. So maybe on Tuesday we'll do a good chunk of Lost Izalith and go fight Seath, and hopefully we find another Lord Soul, and hopefully Seath doesn't have it, or at least doesn't have his own. Wouldn't it be disappointing if they all just had their own Lord Souls? But in any event, take care of yourselves, have a good week, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Peace!